Hey everyone, Fino here. So back in October, it was like the end of October, beginning of November, there was a Halloween event in JP. Well, yeah, as you might expect, there's a Halloween event on Halloween. It's the third Elizabeth event. But yeah, you know, calling this the Halloween 3 disaster season of the witch isn't gonna work quite as well for views, so you know, I'm just gonna call it what it is. It's the Mecha Elizabeth disaster. The charity servant of this event is Mecha Elizabeth. Well, there's two of them, but you can pick one. Now, there's something about this that I need to say. On the night before they announced this event, I was joking around with a friend of mine, and I said, you know what? I bet that the event servant is going to be an alter ego Elizabeth. Specifically, I said an alter ego Elizabeth that's actually Carmilla. And, you know, really wish I posted that on Reddit. Because that's kind of what happened. It is actually dangerously close to what happened. So, you know, fuck me, right? Now I just sound like I'm full of shit. Yeah, you don't need to worry about what an alter ego class is. That's a subject for another day. The more important part is that I fucked this up royally. Like, there's no excuse for it. Like, you know, you could say with maybe the 40 box event, I was like, okay, I underestimated the time I would need to actually farm 40 boxes of shit. This event, I just straight up didn't do it until the last day. And because of this event structure, that's an incredibly bad idea. The third Halloween event works a lot like Seraph, which was the Fate Extra CCC event. So yeah, instead of just having like, you know, the usual event shop or lottery box, there's actually a list of missions that you have to clear to get shit, on top of the normal store. And like the actual objectives you need to clear to get these missions, it varies a lot. Like, it goes from killing X number of a certain type of enemy, you know, the usual weekly master event shit. You know, there's some story stuff, some rewards for raising Mecha Elizabeth, that sort of thing. It's pretty involved, but more importantly, it takes a shitload of time. Time that I did not have, because what happened was that I had already let this event lapse to the final day once before. And on that day, or like the day before, it was announced that, you know what, hey, we're extending it for another week. So, you know, get in there and do it. And I was like, cool, I'm gonna watch this anime instead. And what happened was that the last week of the Mecha Elizabeth event overlapped with the first week of Granblue's Guild Wars. And that is not a situation you want to be in. I think my sleep schedule was fucked up that week anyway. I didn't have that much time to farm Granblue to begin with. This event ended up getting pushed back until the final day. Although, real talk, if I wanted to, I could have just, you know, looked up the shit and done it. I was just too lazy. I mean, my priorities were this. First off, get all the 4-star foods, because Raiko needs her meal. Secondly, it was to actually max out Mecha Elizabeth, which, yeah. You know, I did one of these. The other... The mission system has this really ridiculously convoluted system of requirement and dependencies. So I couldn't just headhunt the ones that I wanted to get. I had to clear all the stupid quests first. And some of these are attrition based, you know, like kill X number of X enemy type. And the craft essences in the store for this event actually worked in a way that you could manipulate enemy occurrences. Although to do this, you had to cross-reference this with the encounter list, which was a pain in the ass. Because there's like a billion nodes in this event. And combined with the fact that the event list is in Japanese, the event mission list, I did a lot of reading this event. Not very fun, I gotta admit. Had to make a spreadsheet and everything, which I'll show you at the end, the end result of that. The rewards in the mission list vary wildly, like some is just mana prisons, which, you know, who gives a fuck. It goes all the way to the ascension items you need to actually max out Mecha Elizabeth. You need to clear like 90 of the 100 missions minimum to be able to get to that point. And clearing 90 missions in roughly a single day is not fun. It was not fun. Also, sorry if I'm a little incoherent. I ate some old cheese before I started this, and I don't know what's happening. Something's happening to me. I don't know. Just going crazy. But yeah, to go back to the whole alter ego Elizabeth prediction thing, there's actually two Mecha Elizabeths that you can pick from. One is the regular one modeled after the annoying Elizabeth, and there's a slightly less annoying but plain gunmetal, boring looking Mecha Elizabeth Mach 2, who was modeled after Carmilla. Honestly, looking at some of their translated dialogue, I like Mecha Ellie Mach 2 a lot more than the regular one, but, I still have to look at them on a regular basis, so I figure, go for the painted Gunpla over the unpainted one, just how it works. The diecast look was in the 90s, I think. Not really my thing. The two Elizabeths have the same skill set, so it doesn't really matter which one you pick. Just take a look at both, listen to some of their lines. It's very nice of them to have an alter ego, though. Alter ego servants are a little weird. Wait, I said I wouldn't talk about alter ego servants. Actually, fuck it, I will talk about them. So alter ego servants are really weird because there's only 4 in the game on JP right now, and 3 of them came from a limited event. In most use cases, alter egos are offensive servants because they don't have a defensive buff against any one class. Well, there is one class, but there's no need to talk about the foreigners because they're as cold as ice. Essentially, they're really good at killing 4 horseman class enemies. And for single target, well, actually, no, for both. I'd say Melt Lilith and Passion Lip are really good ways of dealing with assassin swarms because, generally speaking, casters have a really low damage output. So, in a lot of situations where you want to fight assassins but you don't want to run berserkers, an alter ego will actually work quite well. Now, the sad part about what's about to happen is that if I did things differently at any number of points, I actually could have gotten what I wanted, but I slacked. I didn't fucking mash the screen to force enemies' dying animations to skip. There's a lot of little things I could have done. I also could have, farmed the fucking event, followed my own general event guide, do what I was supposed to do, but I didn't. I was lazy. What I'm realizing is that at maximum I can manage 2 mobile games, just any game that requires daily attention. And let me tell you this right now, I can't roll both versions of FGO into one, which is a bit of a problem because that puts me at 3. So I have to manage both versions of Fate Grand Order and Grand Blue Fantasy. And I'll be honest with you, Grand Blue has a lot of issues. It has a lot of issues. But I think in terms of my general enjoyment, I get more from playing Grand Blue than I do from playing Fate Grand Order twice. Well, a second time to be exact. Like, I still like Fate Grand Order the most, but not enough to play it twice. What I'm mostly doing now is I'm using my Japanese account to scout. So I've just started YOLOing my quartz everywhere. It's a disaster. That's footage for another day. What was I saying? Oh, another thing that really fucked me up in this event. I don't know if there's gonna be footage for this, but like in the last half hour of the event, which is probably the footage on screen right now, the load times for these battles started getting really long. I don't know what's up with that, but one of them took like a full minute, 2 minutes. It was bad. Like that definitely cost me there. I don't know. I think it's kind of dumb that a game that's mostly played offline is constantly having to load in the same battle over and over again, taking like a full minute or like half a minute to a full minute each time. Now there's one thing you don't see in Grand Blue, the fucking need to wait half a century for the battle to load. But I digress. As you're about to see, I fucked this up by a margin of 2 enemies. 2. If I didn't get fucked on load times, or if the damn camera wouldn't zoom into each goddamn servant every time I go into the final battle, I would have been okay. But it didn't. I also didn't plan ahead. Mad as fuck. Still kinda mad as fuck. It's like a month later. No, it's almost 2 months later. God, if any one thing had gone differently, like I would have been able to complete this. But yeah, I'm about to show you what the damage is. So as you're about to see, I get Mecha Elizabeth through a 3rd Ascension anyway, but when I go to the mission list, it doesn't give me shit. Apparently doing it after the clock doesn't count. So in the end, here's the damage I did to myself. Yeah, the Ascension item. Assuming this event gets a rerun, what that means is that I'm not going to be able to ascend both versions of Mecha Elizabeth, which isn't the worst thing in the world. Like you don't need. I don't actually know if it'll let you run both versions in the same party. But it sort of sucks. I would have liked to have both available. Next year I can just snipe one of the Ascension items. Maybe if it pops up in the Rare Prism shop, I can do that. I don't know. I'm a little incoherent. Looking at this footage is kind of pissing me off. But what can I say? It's my own damn fault. Didn't plan ahead. Here's the lesson. Plan ahead. Start the event early. Don't do what I'm doing with the Christmas event right now. Oh my god. Anyway, if you know out, stay tuned for more Soul Destruction Month. Next week is gonna be a fucking doozy. I'm gonna tell you this right now.